The Middle East is often called one of the birthplaces of human civilization. Following the transformative Neolithic revolution, when humans transitioned from nomadic hunter-gatherers to settled farmers, the region became home to some of the earliest known complex societies. Around the 5th millennium BCE, the Sumerians in southern Mesopotamia laid the foundations of urban life, creating some of the world's first cities, writing systems, and organized governance. By approximately 3150 BCE, another monumental civilization emerged along the banks of the Nile River, ancient Egypt. Unified under its first pharaoh, Egypt developed an advanced society marked by monumental architecture, a sophisticated religious system, and pioneering advances in science and administration. Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization, was also the birthplace of powerful empires such as Assyria, which endured for roughly 1,500 years and left a lasting legacy of military innovation and cultural achievements. For centuries after the 7th century BCE, the Persian Empire rose to dominance, with the Achaemenid dynasty controlling vast territories that stretched from the Indus Valley to Egypt, establishing one of history's greatest empires. Fast forward to the 1st century BCE, when the expanding Roman Republic brought much of the Middle East under its control. This region later became an integral part of the Roman Empire, and following the division of the empire, the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine period, spanning from the 6th to the 15th centuries AD, witnessed tremendous cultural and religious shifts. Notably, Christianity gradually replaced the traditional Roman pagan religions, becoming the dominant faith by the 4th century AD. During this era, the Byzantine Empire frequently faced off with the powerful Sasanian Empire of Persia. This long-standing rivalry shaped much of the political and military history of the region until the 7th century, when a new force emerged: Islam. Founded in the Arabian Peninsula, Islam spread rapidly across the Middle East, uniting diverse peoples under a shared religious and cultural identity. The Arab caliphates expanded their influence, fundamentally transforming the social, political, and religious landscape. The 11th century saw the rise of the Seljuk Turks, who replaced Arab dominance in many parts of the region, only to be succeeded by the Mongol invasions in the 13th century. These invasions dramatically altered the demographic and political fabric of the Middle East. By the 15th century, a new empire began to rise from Anatolia, the Ottomans. The Ottoman Empire eventually captured Constantinople in 1453, marking the end of the Byzantine Empire and signaling the start of a new era of Turkish dominance that would last for centuries. The Ottomans often found themselves in conflict with the Safavid dynasty of Persia, particularly in the 16th and 17th centuries, as these two powers vied for control over the region. The 19th century brought new challenges as European powers extended their influence into the Middle East. The British Empire asserted control over strategic areas like the Persian Gulf, while the French established mandates in Lebanon and Syria after World War I. In response, local rulers and intellectuals began efforts to modernize their societies, seeking to bridge the gap with the rising industrialized nations of Europe. A pivotal moment in the region's modern history came with the discovery of oil, first in Persia in 1908, then in Saudi Arabia in 1938, followed by other Gulf states. The vast oil reserves attracted significant Western investment and involvement, reshaping the Middle East's geopolitical importance. The early to mid-20th century was also a time of profound political change. Nations like Syria and Egypt pushed for independence from colonial rule. In 1948, the establishment of the State of Israel introduced new dynamics and conflicts that continue to reverberate today. The British, French, and Soviet presence gradually diminished in the region during and after World War II, further changing the political landscape. The United Nations' 1947 plan to partition Palestine, intended to create a homeland for Jewish people, was met with controversy and conflict, setting the stage for decades of tensions and wars. Amid Cold War rivalries, Pan-Arabism, a political ideology advocating Arab unity, gained momentum, influencing many national policies. The Middle East's modern era has been shaped by several key events: the 1967 Six-Day War, which dramatically altered territorial boundaries; the 1973 OPEC oil embargo, a response to Western support for Israel that reshaped global energy politics; and the rise of conservative Islamic movements like Salafism and Wahhabism, particularly centered in Saudi Arabia, which have influenced political Islam and regional conflicts. The 1979 Iranian Revolution marked another turning point, leading to a strong Islamic revival and the establishment of a theocratic state. The end of the Cold War in 1991 shifted global alliances, and soon after the region became a central front in the War on Terror. In the early 2010s, the Arab Spring uprising swept across many Middle Eastern countries, igniting calls for democracy, social justice, and economic reforms. While some governments were toppled, others resisted, resulting in ongoing instability and conflict. Today, the Middle East stands as a region of contrasts. While some countries, especially the Gulf monarchies like Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates, have achieved remarkable economic development fueled by oil wealth, others struggle with authoritarian regimes, corruption, sectarian divisions, and ongoing conflicts. The legacies of colonialism, foreign interventions, and internal rivalries continue to influence the geopolitical chessboard. Deep-rooted ethnic, religious, and political divides challenge efforts toward peace and stability. Yet the Middle East also holds immense potential, rich cultural heritage, and youthful populations eager for change. The future of this complex and contested region remains uncertain but filled with possibilities, balancing between the weight of its history and the promise of progress.